So we're in the holiday season, and the most exciting thing that's going on right now is that you have a new single for the holiday.
Yeah, yes. Thank you. Yeah, I got to work with this incredible pianist. He's like one of those most sought after session pianists in the world. His name's Matt Rawlings, and I just felt like very lucky to get to work with him. And he really brought the track to life. You know, he produced it and played on it, and I just I got to sing with him. You know, the first when we were recording, I kept getting lost in how beautifully he was playing. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
um, but
But
yeah.
it's a wonderful jazzy kind of thing. So I mean, have you performed in like those cabaret type jazzy outfit kind of club places?
Well, you know, I mean, yeah, I think I got to get up and sing a couple times at some places like that. But our version of my mom used to take me out to the piano bars actually when I
Yeah.
not bars. I shouldn't say bars
No.
plural. There was one particular bar. It was at the Kingsley Inn near Detroit, Michigan, and she used to take me over there, and I would get up and perform. But she got up and sang. You know, my mom's a great singer, so.
Yeah, you got it all through the family. So this started when were you in West Virginia? Was that your roots?
Well, I was born in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and then we moved away. We moved from Parkersburg to San Francisco when I was 4 years old. Quite a culture shock, you know. um,
Oh yeah, I totally.
yeah,
I've been to both places. I
I
went to
just
school there
remember.
in Parkersburg. Yeah,
Oh, you did?
yeah. I went to Ohio University,
Oh my
and yeah, I
gosh!
used to visit all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm dating a young lady. I've been dating for 9 years, and she grew up in Parkersburg. So it's funny how it
What?
come full circle these many years later,
Parkersburg? Are you
of all
kidding me?
places. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. What a that wow. You know, I don't meet a whole lot of people from Parkersburg. So yeah, that's really cool.
It like brings that light alive. Yeah, we used to go there
Yeah.
because I was in Athens, Ohio as a student, and only 45 minutes away, we would go to Parkersburg. And it was like the big city to us because there was,
Really?
to see movies. There was a wonderful restaurant called Sebastian's. It was
Yeah.
really nice.
Did you ever go to the Net? You have a Net
No, I
Burger?
didn't
Oh, the Net. Next time
have
you're in town. Yeah.
to do that. Definitely. We do visit every now and then.
So both you and your young lady, you
Yeah.
guys would both understand when I say that. I mean, I think anybody going to San Francisco for the first time, when you see the contrast between the red of the gold, or you know, the orange of the Golden Gate Bridge with that blue, deep blue water, and then
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like Oz. I mean, it's like whoa! All of a sudden, there's so much color, and the cliffs. I'd never seen cliffs
Oh, yeah.
before. Yeah.
You pay for that in San Francisco, and if you move to San
Well,
Francisco,
yeah, yeah,
you pay for that
yeah.
weather and the beautiful, but not the traffic. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I've been having a similar conversation about Los Angeles. That's where I am right now.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, but after we left, when I was little, after we left San Francisco, we moved to Santa Monica. And I was telling somebody the other day that when I remember first coming to Hollywood and going to the Chinese theater and seeing the handprints, and I don't know if it was newly laid concrete or what, but my mom and my brother kept having to tell me to look up because I was going to run into something. You need to look up, look up. But I couldn't help but look down at the concrete because it was sparkling. It was like,
Santa Monica. Yeah.
I was like, and they'd really built it up because I had been sad to be moving, you know, and I was just a little girl, and they'd really built it up and like Disneyland and the stars and the Hollywood and the whole thing. And so I'm looking down at this sparkling sidewalk thinking like magic, you know?
Wow. So cool. But this new single out, "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas," it's just, it's a total gift. What obviously the holiday season came up and inspired that, but why this year? Was it just the right time to do that?
Well, I did put out a Christmas single last year. I did a version of White Christmas that came out really nice. That was produced by a guy named Willie Breeding in Nashville. But this year, have your, it was the lyrics just seemed made for this year.
Oh yeah, which we needed so much.
I
Like
mean,
that is.
yeah, like through the years, we all will be together if the fates allow.
Yeah, it's a deep,
It's
deep.
deep. Yeah. And the evolution of those lyrics too, they were not happy, when they were first written, they were not happy lyrics at all. And then Judy Garland was like, can we do something about this? She was going to be performing it and meet me in St. Louis. And she's like, so, but there's almost a metaphor there, they,
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
That's so, yeah, unbelievably deep. So you recorded that in Los Angeles or Nashville?
No, I recorded it at Matt Rawlings' studio. He happens to have a back door that leads straight into the vocal booth, believe it or not. So it was like the perfect COVID sort of back alley entrance.
Totally cover up, get in there.
Yeah.
COVID recording.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, I think we were in the same room a couple times, but only very far apart and masks on and everything. But yeah, weird times.
It's really that new normal, and hopefully it won't be so normal in a year, we hope.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But, Matt and I have always gotten along really well. And we've known each other for a few years. I mean, and I've always wanted to do something with him, but sometimes you just really naturally get along with somebody.
Oh yeah.
Like you and I.
So recording something here, I can produce that.
Yeah. But when you just,
it,
there's
yeah.
just this sort of easy, and from the moment you meet, you're just kind of like, oh, we're friends. And that's how Matt and I have always been. And I think that really helped the recording process because we were on the same page. We're very kind of interpreting the events that are going on in a similar way. And I think we both were able to put a certain kind of soul into our performances that complemented one another, which doesn't always happen when you get musicians together. You can play the notes, and one person can play the notes and the other person is singing, and not people aren't always in the same headspace.
Yeah,
But
the arts, it's really tough. It's not just like a normal assembly line where it's so cut and dry, and that's why you hear
yeah,
stories.
that's a good way of putting it. It's not an assembly line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why so many
dude.
get attracted to it. Everybody wants to be a star. Everybody wants to be in I'm
Well,
sure.
the most fun about art is just doing it. It's really the process of it,
So you discovered that very young, learning from your family. It sounds like it just like really just came to you that way.
Yeah,
Over the piano.
yeah. I mean, we've always just been kind of performing in the living room, and so I get a lot of gratification from inside. I get satisfaction. I like, it's pretty. If I play the piano too, just not on this track. But if I'm playing and
Yeah.
singing in my living room, and I close my eyes and I imagine family around me, I'm good. I mean, every once in a while, I'll imagine I'm in like Carnegie Hall or something like
Yeah.
that. But but I'm really used to just playing and singing for friends and family.
Sounds like it's part of the ritual when you go to record. So do you do anything in the studio to make yourself comfortable? Producers like to bring in a special rug for their performers and special mics. And
Well, I do. I'm the custodian of a great a mic. I have it's not really mine. It belongs to my family, but it's a U67, and I love the mic. But it doesn't have to be that mic. I guess probably the thing, I drink olive oil.
Hey, there you go. Greases the wheels.
There's the little eccentric. If you were looking for an eccentricity, I suppose that would be it. Other than that, no.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everybody's got their own little way of trying to be in their headspace, and you always hear about these people who perform live and have their things in their riders, like certain artists are like, "Don't look at me before the show.
Oh, oh,
Don't
right,
need
yeah.
roadies or anybody looking at me. We just got to get right to the stage." And
The
you
classic,
know,
what was it, like green or blue M&Ms or whatever it was,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
so classic.
I think it was a Los Angeles band that had something in their rider about picking out the M&Ms. I think it was
Yeah.
all.
I was it Led Zeppelin? Well, I don't want to cast any. I don't know which
Yeah, I
one.
know. I want to say a certain Los Angeles band, I think was.
Oh. Got it. Okay.
You have like two
Uh,
letters in their initial.
it used to be I used to work in the contract department of a booking agency and management company, and they were based in New York, called TCI. And it was my job to go through the contracts. I was like the one woman contract department for a year or two, and so I learned how to like go through with the ruler and cross stuff out on behalf of the client, do all this stuff. And I mean, I think there were always like I would type up the contract, and I swear to God, I don't think there was ever one that my boss didn't like. You got to redo this and give it back to me. They're so complicated, is I guess what I'm getting at, right?
Sure. Yeah. Probably miss, I mean, obviously. And I know the proverbial question is, well, it's two parts. It's like, what are you doing in the age of COVID? And don't you miss performing? I feel like I'm doing that every time out now.
uh, I am I am trying to find. I guess I'm trying to have the best time I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Trying to. If I think about it too much, then it starts to feel like this sort of very scary, possibly never ending thing. But my heart tells me that's not. I don't think it's never ending. I really don't. I really believe in my heart, when I just calm down, I think this is just some sort of not to sound too new agey over here, but maybe
Yeah.
there's a transformation happening energetically.
That's so true. I feel that way every day, just trying to get through it all.
So
So
I don't
true.
know. We started off the quarantine playing a lot of badminton, and then
Yeah, that's right. So the
yeah,
family's been getting together and doing badminton. Now your husband's an actor as well. He's
yeah, yeah. He is. He's on a show called Queen of the South on USA, and he plays Pote. He's there now, actually, in New Orleans filming. So the badminton, that was like a chapter, and now I suppose we're just in a different chapter. We started playing Super Mario Brothers.
yeah, taking it electronically so pass the time and stay connected somehow, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I meant me and my kids and I. He's not playing. I wish he could, but we do FaceTime quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, how long does like he does a season there on location? How many weeks is that?
I think it's 10. I think they're doing 10 episodes, and I think it's a week per episode. He should be home in March,
It
I
goes
think.
fast. Yeah,
Yeah.
it totally goes fast. And, oh wow. So, well, you keep busy, I'm sure, like most of us do throughout all of this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes. I'm like, especially with the, things, people are really responding to this single, and so
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to manage like the excitement and the things that come with that, like doing some interviews or some performances. I have a performance actually coming up on Monday. There's a book that my friend's boyfriend wrote. Not to I wish I didn't have, he's a wonderful writer. Sean Frison is his name. And he wrote a book called Save Santa's Home. Save Santa's Home. And it's about saving the Arctic and protecting the Arctic.
Neat.
And, huh?
That's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I agree. Sorry, it was weird. But Marianne Williamson and Alyssa Milano have like embraced this book, and there's going to be a cool live Facebook Live conversation with Marianne Williamson and Alyssa Milano and Santa. I should have listed Santa first. He's really the star. And Matt and I are going to be the musical guest. We're like guests. We're the surprise guests at the end. Not a surprise. It's not a surprise because I'm obviously talking about it, but but anyway, we're the special sauce. Yeah, so it's going to be really great. That's happening on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So I've got a link. I've got a link on my Instagram if people, in my bio. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So the really interesting project, the most dynamic project is Fortunes.
Thank you.
Wow. Gosh. And the reviews are amazing. Fortunes is that, well, it's a short album. So
Yeah.
just enough where you could absorb it and hear it, and the whole idea of a concept album. And I'm so sad to see that go away primarily. I mean, some people are doing it, but this is great. And it's not very long, so you could hear this in one sitting. It's
yeah. Well, thank you for bringing that up. And I actually was like, I could have called it an EP because 7 songs, and I think iTunes actually has it classified, or one of them has it classified as an EP, which is fine. But I call it an album because I think it's a meal. I mean, I with all the strings and everything, it just definitely doesn't feel like appetizer, like an appetizer,
Yeah, it's just like blood, sweat, and tears went into this. You did a lot of layering and bounce back between LA, New York, and just it's not this digital canned music. It's very wholesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I was hoping that would come across. You know how old furniture was so heavy, and you just that old furniture that kind of lasts forever, and that's kind of what I was hoping to go for with using the real strings, and everything's real. The only thing that is at all sort of synthetic is on 7 to Heaven. Paul Riddell, who co-produced with me, he did a loop, but it's really Ed Benrock of Jamestown Revival playing. And so he really did play those drums, but Paul just created a loop out of those drums. And that's probably as like technologically manipulative as we get.
So it's serious talent. You got some big names in there, and he's worked with some big names too.
He's incredible. Yeah. And it's funny. Like, I mean, you interview so many different people. Have you found that it seems like the more seasoned somebody is, kind of it's not always the case, right? But I think people tend to be really nice, when they're doing stuff.
Yeah, they've paid their dues. People who've been doing this for a long time, whether in any of these in the arts, is you start eating some humble pie, and I see that a lot and all across the business. When I'm talking about writers, musicians, artists of all stripes. Yeah, that's very true.
And is that kind of why the gatekeepers? It's like the nicer the artist is, the people around them start to get like really like.
The handlers, yeah. I've heard that about some of the most seasoned artists. They're all cool and everything, but it's like, oh, do you have the right, because I've done video work too, do you have the right lens on that camera? We don't want to make him look too old now.
Oh, sure. You got to fire emotes.
Unbelievable. I'm sure, we see that in our business, and I'm sure PR agents see that too. I'm sure they've got stories as well.
Yeah.
You have some duets on Fortunes.
Oh
How
my gosh.
one is with an actor who
Hmm.
some of us might know, but if you want to speak, he actually treated that track as kind of like a story because he took his acting to the music.
He really did. He took I printed out the lyrics for him, and he sat there and listened. Um, and sorry, I'm getting a text. Um, he sat there with the lyrics and treated it like a script, and he went through and he made notes like, well, what do you mean? What exactly do you mean by this? And he just, I'd never had anybody pay so much attention to my words, and it was like it was a rush to have the words paid attention to like that. Like I can imagine how a screenwriter must feel when a great actor is just devoting that much courtesy and energy to what they've written. Like it was really really cool, and I think he did it in like 2 takes.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was wild, and I mean that booming voice that he has, and talk about some of the most successful people being so kind and humble. I mean, he's got to be one of the most like gentle, kind human beings I've had the joy to be connected to at all. You know.
Yeah.
And Joel's the same way. Joel Taylor, who I sang with on Sentimental.
Yeah.
He's wonderful too, and he's a great chef as well. I'm he's really, incident. He's great. He's a good cook.
Got a great record out of it and some good meals. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and some good friends. You know, I talk to Joel more than I'm just John. John's busy and John's always reading. I mean, the last time I talked to him, he was reading a book about bees, and I think he told me about this book, and he was just so like fascinated. Made me want to buy the book. It's like there are more different kinds of bees, and this is what they do, and I'm like, yeah, tell me more.
Oh, wow.
Really neat.
That is
um,
so cool. Very, yeah. What other tracks besides the duets stand out for you on Fortunes?
well, it depends on the day, but I think like I'd always be pretty proud of Dante. I'd put Dante first because I just well, I put it first on the album, but I would also probably like show that to somebody first, just because I think it with the strings, I think it is the most successful use of the strings.
Mm,
I really am proud of the tracks, and Stevie Black, who did the strings, did such a wonderful job, but on all of them. But I think Dante like really put him
yeah.
in this, he's in the spotlight really.
So many could probably relate to Dante and its meaning. It's just
Yeah,
this day and age.
thank you.
Yeah.
The other one that I love, and nobody ever talks about it. I think I've had like one person online say that it was their favorite. Funny Man. Funny Man's actually truly my favorite song. You know, if I, oh, did I lose you? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Might get lost here. We're recording stuff we have to pick up. That's fine.
Like, clearly you disagree.
It went so dark. This is audio only, we'd never know. And they're like, what are we all laughing about here?
um, yeah, I think if all the elements were taken out of both songs, I think Funny Man still really it is it's very like true and I don't know, I love it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, this is a fantastic new album. And you also have another EP that's been out for about a year now.
Oh yeah, come visit soon. Yeah, that's 3 songs, and um, the first song, Amsterdam, that came out of an ex-boyfriend who is still a friend. He asked me several years ago if I would write him a song about nothing. And
Challenge,
so
huh?
yeah. So, I mean, and I felt, I couldn't help but sort of analyze, why would he want a song about nothing from me? And that's where that came from. And so I, instead of literally writing a song about nothing, I did a song about him asking me to do a song about nothing.
Nice. It's just fantastic music. It's just wonderful to hear all this.
Thank you.
So the new single, "Have Yourself a Very Merry Christmas,"
Yes.
available through your website, iTunes, wherever you can get music.
Yeah, all those places. Yeah.
Physical form, like Sam Goody's and places like that.
um, Physical form. No, it's digital, and
All
then
digital, isn't it?
there's going to be a vinyl coming out. I'm doing that, and there's going to be an extra song on the vinyl,
Oh,
which
cool.
will, yeah, I had my husband as a guest artist. Yeah, and he does this kind of like, well, he does a monologue in Spanish for the bridge.
He
It's
grew up in Santiago, Dominican Republic.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he grew up there, between there and New York. So he was actually born in New York, but on accident. He was premature, and his mom was in New York visiting her sisters, and it was going to be like the last trip before she went back to DR to have the baby. And she ended up going into labor and actually going into a coma for 7 days. So
Oh,
she had him by emergency C-section, and then she was out for 7 days.
mm.
And her sister named him. And so when she woke up, they were like, Hemke. And she's like, Hemke, K? Like, what did you name my child? Because
Okay. What do you
Hemke, K?
Isn't that interesting how that ended up with that name?
I know. Well, I guess legend has it that it had something to do with the last name of the doctor that delivered him. They were just kind of thinking it was like a miracle that he was alive,
It's all turned out
So
well.
yeah, oh yes, it has. But he always says that he would be taller if he would have gone to term.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda, right?
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yikes, yikes. So are you primarily do you spend time in Nashville, or that's
Yeah, home is in Nashville,
okay, yes, there.
but it's kind of I don't know. I came out. We have a house here in Los Angeles, and we just really got to Nashville. Like, we haven't been there for that long. And then there was a tornado, and then there's the quarantine, and I just kind of wanted to come back to finish out the lockdown in a familiar place. I was just feeling like, here I still have friends that I can merge my bubble with, and my sons can have those kids to play with, and so there's some semblance of a normal life.
Yeah, that's true. I know it's really difficult out in California, and what the governor's mandates have been. It's been really tough. I mean, when you're in these more condensed environments, it's been much more tough. I have a daughter who lives in Boston, and they're just like very jittery up there because it's much more compact.
Sure.
I went running on the trails out there, and you got to run with the mask, which is just like insane. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if we have to wear masks here. I mean, like on the hiking trails, I assume we would. Um, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I've seen people do that out there. I mean, because they're concerned, and
Yeah,
those trails, those hiking trails, I think can get pretty busy. I've
they
got some
do. Yeah,
there.
yeah, um, yeah. I mean, have you had? I have some family members who got it. Thankfully, no, nobody's, everybody's still alive, but
Yeah.
man, it's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah. My sister has a relative in Toledo, Ohio, um,
Hmm.
who had gotten it. She had some complications. She was very close to going on the ventilator. Uh,
Oh,
just got out before they were ready to do that. So knock on wood, she's getting better. But wow, and then you hear about the long haulers. It's just
hmm.
really, really just it's such a salt in the wounds if you've already gotten this terrible thing. And then like, oh bam, now I gotta deal with the complications after that.
Yeah, and they're saying even if you have a relatively mild case, you can be a long hauler.
Yeah.
Like, um, I have a family member who she's been. I don't want to take this too far down the
Yeah.
dark hole or whatever, but she's been intubated 3 times
Ouch.
in one hospital stay because they take her off. She went to respiratory failure, had to reintubate her, and yeah, people just need to be careful. I guess that's what we should say.
Yeah, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing, and it's that same mantra: socially distancing, the 6 feet and the mask and all that, and hopefully, let's pray that this vaccine
Yeah.
take hold. That's all we can do.
Yes. Yes.
Get you
And we
back
have to do
out
our,
there.
yeah, do our best to have some fun.
What are some of the biggest venues have you done? I mean, you've done the coffee shops all the way through. How have you played to like thousands in a?
Uh, I think the biggest thing that I did was I played a piano series at the Highline Ballroom in New York, which was great. I mean, the cutting room before it closed, I know that's not physically, it is no Carnegie Hall, but it was a wonderful venue. Did you ever go see shows at the cutting room?
Heard a lot about it. Some other artists who I have written about or spoken with over the years have played there. Most notably, the sax player for Billy Joel. His name is Mark Rivera. If you've
Oh,
seen,
okay.
he's done a lot of work at the Cutting Room. I think he would get together with a band and they would cover some Cream songs. They would like have me.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the Cutting
Yeah.
Room there, and then
My
the Bottom Line too.
Oh yeah, bottom line. Yeah. I mean, my favorite venues that I played are in New York, and they might not be large capacity, but they sure are wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Remember the living room, the one that was in the East Village?
yeah, 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 yeah.
God, the sound was just impeccable.
Isn't that? Yeah, I know. You go to arenas or a lot of these other places, and the sound is just never. I mean, any artist can tell you that it's not very good. But you go to a Carnegie Hall all the way through. Here in Atlanta, where I'm at, they have a symphony hall, and I saw Tori Amos there, and she was just like, "Yeah, the sound was it's just built for that."
Yeah. See, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to see Tori there, and I would also love to play.
She just blew me away. I really wanted to do an interview then too. I just stumbled on the show. I won some tickets through Global Citizen.
Oh,
And
cool.
went to that, and she's just like remarkable, swinging from these different pianos. I'm like, I've never seen anything like that.
Oh man, I grew up listening to her music, especially in my teenage years. I listened to a lot of her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure it was a huge inspiration. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Anyway, well, it has been
When pianos try to beat guitars, I love that line.
yeah.
I feel the West in you. Oh God, don't get me started.
Oh yeah, she's got such a following. I mean, almost like they have their own language. She has like a real serious fan base.
Yeah, yeah. I just got goosebumps on the top of my head. I love some Tori.
So funny. Anyhow, well, I'll probably make it out to Parkersburg again one time. Maybe you'll get to play there again one day.
Well, my family grows great tomatoes, so let me know. I can maybe hook you up depending on the season.
There's a venue not too far from there. It's called the Pomeroy Peace Ranch, Pomeroy Fur Peace Ranch. And another artist who I speak with, his name's AJ Croce, and he plays there on his tour sometimes. He's really good, son of Jim Croce.
Oh, well,
But
that was going to be my question. Yeah, cool.
yes, AJ is amazing. I will have a podcast with him very soon. I'm going to release
Nice.
it. Yeah, he's fantastic. But it's been a lovely evening. So great to speak with you this evening.
So great to speak with you too. I really appreciate you hanging out with me.
Absolutely.
Have some adult conversation. It's nice.
Oh, totally. And just forget, so what's available is Fortunes, and your latest single is just out there. So download it. What's the website? It's all your one word.
JesseLynnMadera.com.
I'm saying you're on everything else: Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be coming out with some acoustic versions of a couple of the songs, possibly a dance mix. I
Oh
don't know.
wow,
Yeah.
you'd be involved with that, I'm sure. And
Yeah.
nice. Well, it has been great speaking with you, and hope to see you soon. Hope you can come down to Atlanta
Oh, yeah.
in one of our fine establishments here.
I would love to. I have some family in Atlanta. I would be honored.
Well, like keep in touch, and best wishes, and let's hope everything turns out well. This vaccine
Yes.
takes hold.
Yes. Thank you.